Hello and welcome to photowalkthrough.com. This is tutorial 2, chapter 1. Today I'm going to be taking you through the production of an image that you see in front of you, which I took from the deck of HMS Belfast when I went to the London get-together with a whole bunch of the guys from Tips from the Top Floor Forum. The handle you can see is on the door of one of the cabins on the ship, and I was drawn to the grey with the red in front of it and the simple shapes and just the general abstract nature of the scene. So I snapped the shot, and later on it occurred to me that this would look good as a cross-processed image which has a very particular colour to it, and you'll see what I mean when I come to create the action. Now what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to create that cross-processed look and also how to record it as an action so that you can do it again and again. So if I just begin, I have my actions palette down here, visible at the bottom. If you haven't got it visible, then you can always go into the Windows Actions menu at the top, and that will make that palette visible. So, like the Layers palette, we have a new button down here, which if I click it makes a new action, and it's going to ask us what we want to call it. So I'm going to call it E6 to C41 cross-processing. And the reason for the name, E6 and C41 are chemical sets for traditional film printing, and the way this would traditionally have been done is to cross-process by using the wrong chemicals to process your image. Obviously here what we'll do is quite different. We'll create a curves layer that makes it look like we've done that. So I've given it the name, I'm going to press the record button, and the first thing you'll see is that it's created a new action down here, and we've got a red dot here to show that the action is now recording. The way this works is it will record each step we take. So the first step I want to create is a new curves layer, which at the bottom of the layers palette here we have this create new fill or adjustment layer. If I click on that and choose curves, I get a curves window pops up, and this curves window has at the top here a drop down that contains RGB, red, green and blue. We can in this curves dialog edit the RGB channel, which is all the channels together, or the red channel, or the green channel, or the blue channel. So we'll start with the RGB channel, and I'm just going to drag that so that you can see a bit of the image in the background there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start off with an S-curve, which, if you've ever used the curves palette before, you will know adds contrast to the image. It makes the light bits lighter. We have towards the top here with the light tones, towards the bottom here we have the dark tones, and it makes dark darker, the light lighter, and overall there's a general brightening because, as you can see, overall the curve is more towards the left. Now if we go into the red channel, what we're doing in the red channel is another S-curve, but this time it's fairly heavily biased to the bottom, so we're going to make the darker parts of the red channel darker. In fact, the way the red channel works is it's red up in the top left, cyan in the bottom right. So this curve is generally to the right. You can see what we're doing is we're boosting the reds at the top in the lighter tones, and we're even more heavily boosting the cyans in the darker and the mid-tones. If I go to the green, quite a simple one in green, we're going to boost the high values, the lighter values in the green channel more towards the green, and we're going to leave the darker tones alone. And then in the blue channel, I'm just going to boost the darker blue tones. So we've done almost all the work in the darker tones in the blue there, and as I did that, if you look at this part of the image here where it's quite dark, I'll just drag that curve back flat again. You can see it's all sort of turquoisey green at the moment. As I drag that up, we start to get some blue in the darker portion of the image. So that's my S-curve that I want to create. Just going back through it again, there's our S-curve on RGB. That's the red channel, making it more cyan. That's the green channel, and it's green up here, magenta down here. And this is the blue channel, it's blue up here, yellow down here. So I pressed OK on that, and you can see we've got our curves layer now, and also in our actions palette our first action step has been created. Now before we finish recording this action, I'm going to also rename the layer because it'll record that we renamed it as well. So I'll call it E6 to C41 cross processing, And I'm also going to just drag this layer mask here into the trash can. I don't tend to think we need layer masks on cross-processing layers like this, so we may as well not have it, and in future when we run this action we may as well not have it. So that's our action completed. Because it's complete, we can press the stop button, and that's our action finished. If I click this little arrow here, it'll close it up. So if I delete that layer we just created, and I click on my action and press play, that's the new action working and run, and that's everything I plan to do for this video. I will be back in the next video to show you the final steps to complete this image. See you then.